Welcome to the Kari Club. My name is Minesh and I'm delighted to bring you our latest recipe box, which is Murgh Makhani, also known as butter chicken. There are many variations of this, but I'm very happy to bring you my version. We're going to cook this with a beautiful, fresh and fragrant subzi, which is spinach. We're making that with a garlic and ghee roti and a lovely, fragrant jeera basmati rice. The ingredients we're going to need for the marinade is a really good quality thick Greek yogurt, garlic and ginger paste, a lot of nice spices. For the sauce we're going to be using cashew nuts, tomato paste, fresh coriander and jaggery, butter and cream. And for the subzi we've got obviously spinach, fresh garlic, fresh ginger, green chilies and a squeeze of lime and some red onions. And then with the garlic and ghee roti, obviously some ghee with some crushed garlic inside, and just some toasted cumin seeds for the basmati rice. First thing is to start with the marinade. I use chicken thighs for this because it's much juicier and it's tastier. We're going to marinate this ideally overnight, but at least for a minimum of an hour. And we start with our first little marinade of a pinch of salt and a squeeze of lime for 5 minutes, and meanwhile, while that's resting, we can make our marinade. Roll the lime to extract as much juice as possible. Right, so now we make the marinade. Little glug of oil and some really good quality Greek yogurt. The thicker the yogurt, the higher rate of fat is essential for the marinade to work really nicely. Two teaspoons of ginger garlic paste. Some turmeric, red chili powder, Punjabi garam masala, and some kasuri methi, which is roasted fenugreek. Just crush it to release the flavours, and a pinch of salt. Give that a good whisk. Add the chicken to the marinade. Make sure all the marinade covers the chicken. So once your chicken has been in the marinade for at least an hour or overnight, we can start our sauce. Before we start our sauce, just preheat your oven to around 200 to 210 degrees, depending if it's fan assisted. First thing we're going to do is chop our lovely tomatoes. So in the hot oil, put your whole spices. So we're going to temper the oil, which is black and green cardamom, cinnamon, mace and cloves, and some cumin seeds. So cook the tomatoes for a good 5 to 6 minutes on a medium heat. You want the tomatoes to almost dissolve and be just like a tomato mush. Once you're ready, we can add the tomato paste and the garlic and ginger paste. So add some salt and we'll cook this for a good 2 or 3 minutes. So now time for our powder spices. We've got coriander powder, garam masala, red chili powder and a little bit of paprika. So while our spices are cooking for a few minutes, get our cashew nuts ready. Now it's essential to have this in warm water from the tap. We want it to blitz into a really nice, smooth, creamy paste. It will really help with the depth of the flavour of the sauce. So you can see the cashew nut cream changes the colour and the consistency of the sauce. You can add some water, rinse out the cashew nuts to make the sauce a bit thinner as to your required consistency. Add your roasted fenugreek. Always crush the herbs into the sauce so you release the maximum of flavour. Pop your lovely marinated chicken in the oven. Now add the butter and the cream. And instead of sugar, we're adding jaggery, which has got a beautiful flavour. Oh, that's creamy. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Nice, nice, nice. So when it comes to the finishing of this sauce, you can blitz it. Now, some people like to keep it rustic and chunky. Some people go as far as passing it through a sieve for that extra silky smooth sauce. The choice is entirely yours. So to finish, squeeze a lime and some fresh coriander. So once the chicken is cooked, we've got a little bit of charring on the edge. We basically want to replicate a tandoor and just add that to the sauce. Now this chicken is amazing just on its own. So if you want to have like a wrap, you can add some red onions and just put a bit of raita in. The chicken is so tasty, but with the sauce, obviously, it's going to give us a twofold flavour. So that's our Murgh Makhani done, the main part of the meal. You can leave that to rest. You can leave it overnight in the fridge if you want to do the rest of the meal at another time. But the flavours will just keep going. And now we're going to make our garlic and ghee roti. All I've got in a bowl is some wholemeal chapati flour. Make a well in the middle. Some oil goes in the middle. So add a pinch of salt and just mix that together. And then just gradually add warm water to the mix. So we're just looking for a rough mix to begin with, and we're going to leave that covered for about 5 minutes. Come back to the dough, a little drop of oil on your hands, and just finish massaging the dough, and then you're ready to make your rotis. Now, if you're going to be making them and just keeping them warm, you can put them in foil, keep them nice and warm to the end, or you can make these at the end, entirely up to you. Just cup your hands over the dough and just make a nice round ball. So when it comes to making your rotis, you've got a nice flat frying pan on medium heat, preheated. Get a little bowl of flour, or just for some extra for dusting. Squeeze it in the middle. Now I've got a traditional rolling pin called a vellon. Basically I push up and pull down, and it automatically rotates to make a lovely circle. Now you may have seen one of the videos with my mum where she'll make about 50 of these a second, but that's experience for you. So when you start, you can obviously take a traditional rolling pin that you're used to. The idea is really you just want the thickness to be even. With our rice, all we've done is wash it properly. We boiled it in a pan of water for around 7 minutes. We've strained it, absolutely no rinsing afterwards. You're washing all the flavour out otherwise. Then put it into a cold roasting pan to keep the heat constant. And then add some cumin seeds to a little pot of oil, and then just temper it with that seasoning, and it will be a beautifully fragrant jeera basmati rice. So to accompany this meal, we've got a really simple and stunning, delicious palak subzi, fresh and fragrant. All we need to do now is prepare our vegetables. Teaspoon of fennel seeds, your garlic and ginger and green chilies, stir fry these onions for a few minutes until they're nice and soft. So once the spinach is wilted, we'll add a bit of salt and a squeeze of lime. So we just made our latest recipe box, which is Murgh Makhani, a silky smooth aromatic tandoori chicken with a delightful sauce. We've made a beautiful jeera basmati rice, a garlic ghee roti, and a very simple palak subzi. I really hope you enjoyed our latest video. Please hit the like and subscribe button. The Kari Club delivers authentic Indian cookery boxes nationwide, and please keep cooking. Good food is good mood.